welcome back to Nub Raids, and as promised, today we're looking at Vildrax in Hydra. If you guys missed, it wasn't this week's CVC stream, I think it was the previous one, but you guys were very generous and you bought me some prism shards to do a prism pull for the stream for fun. We pulled Vildrax, and I promised you we would be doing a Hydra video with him. Well, here it is, and here we go. Let's take a look. So what is going on here? Believe it or not, Vildrax was... I think he was a fusion. It was, I think it was like 2 years ago now. It was a good long time ago. And his whole thing really is that he brings in Hex. Now, since he came out, Hex has really seen a big glow up, right? It was always okay in Hydra because it lets you hit the head of Mischief easily. But now, with redistributing damage from Hex, where you do bonus, like whatever, was it 10% of your single target damage gets redistributed onto every other enemy with Hex? Like, it's actually really good. It adds up to a lot of damage. We're going to see if we can exploit that today. I think Hex is particularly strong with single target damage, so we're going to see what we can do. He has it on a 3-turn cooldown. It does buck up to 100% chance. He then has a second AoE that increases enemy debuffs. It can put skills on cooldown, not going to help us for Hydra. And he does actually bring Leech, which I think is quite decent. Then with his passive, he can steal heals off of enemies that have Hex, but this doesn't work against bosses. So his kit is quite confused. It's sort of this idea of, okay, I guess we could Hex them, then try put their skills on cooldown in Arena and steal their heals, but it's just not very good. It's a bit wacky. I'd love to see a bit of a tweak to this guy. I'm not sure what they could change exactly, but I'd love to see probably some sort of change just to make him more of a PvE focused champ who could be a pretty cool budget champion. For our skills, we're upping his chance to place the Leech and hopefully extending that. We're giving him War Master to do some damage, simple enough. And for the sets, we've actually got him into Provoke. I think this should be kind of handy for our run, right? 30% chance to provoke for 1 turn. He does have 2 AoEs. This one is a short cooldown, so that's nice. He's going to spam them out fairly often. It's going to give us... He's not going to be our primary source of provoke, but he's going to be a good backup, I hope. We'll find out. So, yeah, there you go. I guess apart from that, the best set for Hydra is probably Cursed, but he's got Hex, so he doesn't need the Cursed set, obviously. I guess you could do Guardian, maybe, to try keep your team alive. He's got good defensive base stats. I don't know. What we've done then is to try to just make him fast is the main priority. He's very fast. We've actually got him with pretty decent resistance. Not planned that, but it's just the gear I had left over. Good accuracy. It's going to be more than enough for what we're doing. And he's reasonably tanky. So, yeah, for example, I think he's got in a resistance chest here just because it had double speed rolls on it and even some accuracy. So, going to help us out a little bit. Let's give it a go. So what we're going to do, we are going to jump into Hard Hydra and see what he can do there. What I was trying, so interesting, I was theory crafting some teams. So the first one, I was like, okay, what if we could take this Razzlevarg team? And it's actually been really cool seeing all of your feedback. Again, updates on that. We've seen people all over the place. I think I've seen someone got 395 million damage. I think it's yesterday or something. With this Razzlevarg team, they almost hit the 400 mil, which was super impressive. I've seen people then with much lower levels of gear. I think, you know, I saw someone get maybe 170 million or something. I'm sure you could definitely get lower as well with the gear. One interesting thing, by the way, this particular team was that someone with worse gear said that they actually built a high resist Shamail with Blood Shield to be a Mischief tank, because with worse gear, they weren't killing Mischief very fast at all. And they actually found that having a Mischief tank made it just better damage overall. Whereas when you've got lots of damage, you kill Mischief in like 2 turns. So it doesn't even matter. You just go full out damage. So that was an interesting thing. Anyway, enough about that comp. I love this comp, man. I love it. I was seeing, could we fit Vildrax into this comp, and it is a bit awkward, but I think something along the lines of this would probably work okay, and you're going to see here the comp we're actually going to go with. So the idea is we still have the decreased speed with Physics, we've got increased speed with Lydia, decreased defense and weaken with her. Then we've got actually Archbishop Pinthroy. He's going to come in with block buffs, and he's also going to be providing us with increased defense and shield and healing. So basically something to try keep us alive, because if we take out Mithrala, right, you're missing out on, well, a ton of shielding and defensive potential. So Bishop instead is going to help with that. We do miss out on the revive from Uko. That could be a problem. And we're also missing out on increased attacks. That becomes a bit awkward. Like, do we bring in increased attack to make Bishop hit harder? It becomes a little bit more tricky, but I thought it was a fun theory crafting thing. Now, the team we're actually going to go with is this one right here. We're going to bring in Nekmothar in the lead for Speed Aura. Increase speed, decrease speed. And he's going to be in Provoke set to try Provoke. We're going to have backup Provoke set with Vildrax with the Hex. We're going to have increased attack for our team with Ursula the Mourner. And then we're going to have Whisper and Shamail built for damage. And we're going to have Ugo built to block buffs. Now, we've got no way of really dealing with Mischief. The way we're going to deal with Mischief is Hex with Vildrax and nuke it to death with Whisper and Shamail. Let's dive in. Let's give it a go. I'll show you the builds then of these champions at the end. And we'll sort of chop it up as we go, but we'll see exactly how things go. One thing we might want to do at the start, we might need to restart if we don't land a Provoke on this Head of Decay, because that would kind of suck. There he goes in with the Hex. So you can see we've landed Hex on most things. There's the Provoke. Okay, we're good. And then we start slamming in damage. And every time we hit this head, you're going to see big chunks, like 12,000 damage spread across to these others, which is pretty strong. So Head of Mischief is half dead on turn 1, which is nice and juicy. Whisper, she's going to get her buff stolen. This is just going to be a consistent problem. And I do have to say, I like this about Vildrax, right? That backup, increasing the debuffs is pretty cool. He's going to make the Hex really consist. He's probably one of the most consistent Hexers, actually, because places it, then extends it. Affinity is a problem, but if we can get around that, we should hopefully be good. Let's see, she goes in, actually lands the Weaken, though I guess Shamail's about to kill. Actually, no, he's going to die before that. So that's not going to help us here. There's the Leech, very cool. I do have Cruelty on Vildrax as well, which I think is going to be quite good. Seeing as he's got so many AoE attacks, he doesn't really need other blessings very much. Oh, interesting. She's actually gone for, let's actually target this head. I don't know why she did that, but she went in for him. Oh, no Weaken. That's unfortunate, right? We're relying on Whisper to land the Weaken. So that sucks. That would really up our damage a lot. But we are absolutely slamming the damage in to this head. I'm not sure what to expect here. Like, our team does lack shielding, but this is on hard, so we can maybe get away with it. We've got very consistent, I would say, decrease attack between... we've got the Void decrease attack from Ursula, and then we've got obviously decreased attack from Nekmos A1. It should be quite strong. She's actually procced an extra turn. Here we go. This is going to hit hard. 600k, not too bad. She's gone in again. She's landed a Weaken this time. Excellent. Good. Should do some fairly solid damage now. Decreased defense is back out. I mean, we're doing over 2 million damage per turn. It's pretty sick. There we go. We've done some Cruelty shenanigans. Not too bad. Decreased speed on him. Good damage there from Inquisitor Shamail, though he didn't have increased attack, I think. Yeah, there's the increased attack right now. Whisper. 500,000 almost on the A1. Here we go. Ooh, 800,000 on that. Not too bad. That's a lot of damage and not a lot of turns. We'll take it. Very cool. And yeah, I think one thing we don't have with this composition is burn. I do think that Vildrax would be okay with burns as well, because he's extending the debuffs. He's going to make them more consistent. So again, I mean, you could run like Cardiel and Sissia, and they're going to be pretty good with Vildrax, though it might be a little bit overkill. You know, oh, let's target this head, because apparently she's not going to want to attack it. Man, 400k on the A1. That's just disgusting. I love it. I love it. There we go. Decreased defense. Now this head is going to be annoying. It's going to start stealing stuff. Oh, he actually targeted Vildrax. You know what we could do? You could put Vildrax in a Blood Shield accessory. The big damage. You could put him in Blood Shield, and you could build him with enough resist to be a Mischief tank, and that would be fairly helpful, because like this is obviously quite annoying. This head right here. In fact, we should probably... Now, let's keep targeting this head while it's dead. Get as much damage out. When he spreads the buffs, it's not going to matter, right? Let's switch over to him now. Let's try kill him off, hopefully. So he will stop stealing buffs off a Whisper. Excellent. The Weaken is really good. We like that. There's the Provoke from Vildrax actually onto this head. That's nice. Hopefully we can land some decreased speeds. This guy has stolen absolutely everything. He's chock full of buffs. Good, we landed decreased attack. That's a relief. Here we go. She's going to smack him really hard and take another turn. He's going in. Oh, we've got another extra turn. Wham. Nice hit there. She's in again with an A1. Bam. Excellent. That's what we like to see. Shamail getting a casual 500,000 damage or so. Not too bad. Okay. Well, we've hit the 1 key easily. 4 minutes in, we've easily hit the 1 key. It's a pretty cool budget option, Vildrax. He's a cool budget option. And these are all epics, apart from Nekmothar, who is a pretty huge deal on this team. You could use like Vildrax or something, right? And you could have Whisper in the lead. That would probably work as well for the decreased speed. Yeah, you could do some stuff. You could manual it with Lydia for the single target block buffs. That would probably work as well, especially this rotation where you don't have the Poison Head or Wrath starting. You could absolutely bring Lydia in. This might hit us pretty hard. Yeah, that hit us very hard. I was going to say, you missed the block buffs. That's going to hurt. But we do have... Okay, good. And he's not respawned. That's good for us. Let's let them hit whatever they... Oh, she's apparently hitting that. That's a bit random. Okay, let's see if we can kill off Decay. Get some max HP back. See what happens. Here we go. We've got Provoke on... Let's actually see if we can finish off this guy. There we go. Get ourselves a bit of a shield. Unfortunately, we missed the block buffs on this head. That's going to be a little annoying, though. He has popped off already. He might kill some of us here, but that's why we have the Reviver in there. So hopefully it won't matter too much. Whisper. Hitting hard. Another extra turn. Excellent. This is sort of why we want to revive her in with Whisper as well. She's got heal reduction. Like, she's almost definitely going to die, right? It's fairly likely. Let's just see what happens here. But yeah, no, I think it's a solid team. I think we will let this one run out. Let's just see what sort of damage we can do. Yeah, okay, Whisper's gonna die. Not really a huge surprise. But it's okay. Here we go. Hopefully we will stabilize now. We actually might want to try kill off this head to stop him from doing any of his nasty stuff. It's going to be a little close, but I think we got him. Yeah, we got him. We're good. We're good. Let's actually target him while he's dead. I think that's going to be a bit better. Oh, no, I should have targeted this one. Oh, well. Mistakes were made. Let's see. We should pop back up now. We're going to have one more big hit from Wrath while he has the increased attack, but we got out the strength and the increased defense. We should be pretty safe here. Let's see. He's got block buffs on anyway, so he's not going to get his block debuffs or damage reduction, anything like that. Cool. I just want to see Whisper go in one more time. Oh, she doesn't have anything ready. Oh, bummer. She hits hard with the A1 even without any buffs, but it could have been even better. Could have been. And you could certainly manual it to try like place, like right there, we could try place her weaken on this head to spread the weakens with the A1. But that's all good. Head should pop off in a second. Let's see. One more smack. We'll get the 30 million. Oh, wow. This head came back first. Okay. Slightly surprised. Oh, she's got decreased attack. That's a bummer. Unless Ugo cleanses it. No, he's not going to get around to cleanse it on time. We're going to land Brimstone, of course, in the decapitated head. You hate to see it, but hey, it is what it is. That's massive damage from Shamail. Bam. Her attack was halved. That probably would have been a 1 million hit if she didn't have decreased attack on. That's unfortunate. Whew. Big hits from Whisper. Here we go. Oh, yeah, 800k plus some Phantom Touch. She's in again. She's popping off. Right, guys, I'll be back at the end of this run. I guess I'll like target stuff. I'll semi-auto it. I'll target head scenes. We're quite single target focused to try to give the Vildrax team the best showing possible. But yeah, I'll be back and we'll see how we go. I'll catch you all in a few minutes. All right, guys. Well, there we go, man. That was actually so unlucky. We had a shield on Suffering and he devoured... he devoured our Reviver right after Head of Wrath popped off and killed us. That's quite an unfortunate series of events. So we actually ended 85 million. I feel like that's pretty bad luck. I feel like we could have definitely got more, but like this just shows you the impact of Hex, right? This shows you the power of Hex. Shamail, 22 million. Whisper, 26 million. Vildrax, 20 million. That is the power of Hex right there, and it's making you more consistent as well because you can target down Mischief, who is super squishy and is a problem. I think there's a lot to be said for this, right? I think traditionally I would have put like a Mischief tank in this sort of slot, someone to tank Mischief. There's something to be said for sure for just putting in, right, a Hexer like Vildrax and letting him go ham. It's pretty cool. What other... Raid Shadow Legends Hex. Like, what are the other Hex champs in the game? how does he compare? I mean, the appeal is certainly that he's epic, right? So you've got a Kemptum. He's a decent option as well. He's going to put out decent damage with poisons, but he's going to be very squishy. Then, like, I mean, you look at a lot of these are top tier, like Mithrala, Michinaki, Tila. I'd say these are pretty top tier. Moranix, fairly underrated. She's okay. And Cleopteryx, again, a bit underrated. She's okay. I think Rule will be a pretty okay budget option as well, but Thylesia is pretty darn good too. The rest of these aren't very good for being... Like, there's not that many Hexers. If you don't have a cursed set, like, I actually genuinely think Vildrax he's actually really good. I remember we looked at this on stream and this was like quite out of date because the Hex was not... Yeah, like for Hydra, he's definitely way more than 2 stars in Hydra. This is definitely out of date now that Hex is so much better there. I don't know. What do we think about Vildrax for Hydra? I could run it again, but we'll regroup it here. I think that's enough to sort of see the potential. Like, I think he's actually fairly good. Yeah, like he's very consistent. What I really like is extending the debuffs. What is nice about that? This sounds small, but it's actually really nifty. It basically means that, you know, it's going to make the weakens from Whisper be much more consistent. It's going to make the block buffs and decreased defense much more consistent. And especially when you've got that Head of Suffering with his extra turns, or if you got Mischief stealing turn meter, it's actually surprising, but extending those debuffs does have quite a good impact. It's quite nice. So I do like that a lot. It just makes everything nice. It's like our decreased speed here. We have affinity problems. He could weak hit. So having the decreased speed be extended by Vildrax, I think it's good, right? He seemed to be, I think, extending stuff through Poison Cloud as well, or else just the extension was making buffs last. So if Head's got the Poison Cloud on, because unfortunately Ugo's pretty bad affinity this rotation, Head of Wrath is Force affinity, which sucks. He could, you know, basically ensure that the debuffs would still stay on them even through Poison Cloud. It's pretty cool. He's not bad. Yeah, I would love to see, and he brings Leech as well. Now, we've got lots of sources of Leech on this team, but still, it's a great buff, debuff to bring. I'd love to see something change with his passive, you know? I'd love to see this champ get a bit of a buff, because he's pretty cool. Like, you know? I actually think Vildrax is pretty cool. If we look at him here, was it Counting recently used? No, it won't. Okay, of course not. That made too much sense. But like, I have a soft spot for him. I think visually, he's super unique. He's super badass. Yeah. I mean, if they ever add in any other good sets as well for Hydra, he'd be a solid option in it. And it does mean you don't need a cursed set. Now, that being said, if you do have a cursed set, that's probably a somewhat better option overall, though he's going to be much more consistent. Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I don't think he's bad, actually. Surprisingly, he ended up being a little bit better than I expected. Is he as good as Mithrala? No way. She's so much better. He's a decent option. So there you go, guys. Vildrax, actually not terrible. Who knew? Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe this will give you some ideas for some budget teams you can throw in and you know, make use of these types of champions. Oh, if I show you like the builds on these champs just very quickly here. This actually is probably including the bonuses. So let's take a look. We do have some bonuses. People are asking, my area bonuses for Hydra are like that right now. So there you go. But we had Nekmothar. He's in 6-star. It's actually not super useful, the Brimstone, but the stats are good, though he doesn't need it for hard. So he's very fast, right? And tanky. And he has these masteries. So he's definitely overkill. He's really geared for Nightmare. We had Ursula. She has these masteries and she's in regen. That's sort of important to keep her alive. And she has these stats, so she's fast. Sort of a staple of Hydra is trying to make people fast. Shamael, he's coming in. He's nice and fast. He's in pretty good gear, I think. Just he's not in the best set. So it'd be ideal to get him in like Reflex, I think. But yeah, he's coming in. He is very fast. He's got high attack and very high crit damage. And he's coming in with Giant Slayer. Whisper is like this. She's not in my best gear. She's in Relentless, basically. She's kind of slow, though, right? She's 191 speed, which is pretty bad. So I think that's really why her damage was so low. She's missing a 2% crit rate as well. She only needs 70. But yeah, more speed on her would be big. I just don't have the gear at the moment, unfortunately, for Whisper. But yeah, still, you know, she was doing a good job even with that. Vildrax, we've already seen. And was there anyone else on that team? Oh, Ugo, of course. Ugo, she's very fast, so lots of speed, is quite tanky, and overkill accuracy even for Nightmare, because I'm bad at maths, I guess. And masteries. So there you go. I think that was everybody that we were to look at. Go away, pop-ups. I'm trying to do a video. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's everyone. That's the team. Cool. Vildrax. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye-bye.